That reefer, huh? What you need, huh? Never find a seat, huh? Take a dab, huh? Straight THC, huh? Pour the highest in the room, look at me, huh? Somewhere in the clouds, that's where we wanna be, huh? Got you shook, huh? Not just for the look, huh? After day, huh? Hold the whole book, huh? Drive slow, huh? Blow it by the huh?
What's up, everybody? I want to talk a bit about the video I put in earlier. Check out my bicep. Yeah. It was on. It was gonna be about the questions and answers on my Facebook, and basically, I had a couple questions that were private messaged to me, and I'll be talking about those questions. I'll only be doing 2 questions. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I cracked my neck. So, question number 1. But before I get into that, let me show you my dragon real quick. Look at this shit. And my Sphinx. Ooh. It's nice to have a dragon and a Sphinx in your crib. Okay. Now, I'll talk a little bit about the questions. Okay, so I remember them. I read them a couple times over and over to get a nice perspective. And basically, the first question is about a guy who, I'll tell you a quick little background story. This guy, let's call him John for the sake of anonymity. I just made a word up. So, John has been going to high school and had a crush on this girl who he did not really hang out with much. You know, your typical guy kind of thing. And was too anxious to ever ask her out in high school. So he wanted to see what to do because he ended up going to college and she also went to the same college as him. And in this college, she started hanging out with a similar social circle as him, so they started seeing each other quite a bit more. And I don't know if you guys hear that, but it's pretty nice background noise. So she's going out with this guy in the social circle setting, and they're having fun within a group. And meanwhile, he's being too afraid to ask her out. So his question is, how do I transition basically from the friend zone, being in the social circle, to the into the non-friend zone, aka the love zone, right? So I'm not a dating expert by any means, right? But I do have some perspectives that I'd like to share on that subject. First of all, you also mentioned that you haven't really made any clear moves. I mean, you kind of, held her and stuff like that in the social setting, but nothing too significant, right? And you're not sure if she likes you because she hangs out with you and everything, but you're not sure if she's showing any signs of interest. So, how do you tell? First off, you should be able to tell based on her indicators of interest, which is like, does she play with her hair while she speaks to you? Does she, does her pupils dilate while you talk to her? Is her body language closed or open? And by that I mean, is she like this when she talks to you? Or is she kind of like this, just open to you? So there's a lot to learn about body language, and I'll keep that for another video, but in that case, you have to analyze little things like that just to get a clearer perspective. But the best perspective is, in my opinion, first off, that women don't hear what you don't say. So as a man, I think your responsibility is to go for what you want. And in this case, you like this girl, right? So there's two ways you can do this, and the point is you're either gonna get rejected or you're gonna succeed in getting that relationship or whatever it is. But at least you'll know. Okay, that's the point. So how do you do this? Practical wise, you can either be subtle in your approach or you can be a little more daring. Let's start off with daring. Sorry. So daring, how do you be daring in your approach? Next time you're at a social meeting or whatever, social circle hangout, you're hanging out together, you're at a party or whatever. I'm not saying, okay, don't do this, okay? Don't do what I'm about to say. Don't send her a text message or with 3 paragraphs saying how much you love her and blah blah blah. And don't do like some drunk love confession bullshit, because there's nothing worse than the drunk love confession. So how do you do the more ballsy approach without doing any of that crazy shit? Make a move. It's that simple. A lot of girls that have guy friends, especially girls with mostly guy friends, they've had this experience a lot of times where one of the guy friends will try to make a move on them and kiss them, and sometimes, and I've heard this from many girls, sometimes the girl will kiss back, sometimes she won't. But either way, it doesn't really affect the relationship, because it's normal. It's like you're a girl hanging out with a whole bunch of dudes. Some of them are going to like you, especially if you're attractive. So that's nothing that she hasn't thought about, okay? And you say that there hasn't been any animosity or anything between you two, so your relationship should be fine, and maybe there's a good chance that she will reciprocate. Okay, so that's making a move, going for the kiss. Invite her out to a hangout, and then when you two are alone and you're telling her a joke, right when she starts laughing, give her a kiss, see what happens. There's never a better time to kiss a girl than when she's laughing, in my experience. So other than that, if you don't want to be that ballsy, like you don't want to just give her a kiss right away and everything, you can be a little more subtle in your approach. Next time you hang out with her, practice how she reacts to your touch, and also try to see how she acts with other guys, and then with you. So does she treat you the same as every other guy in the group, or does she have a little more patience for you? Does she laugh more at your jokes? Does she kind of stare in your eyes a little bit longer than others? Those are little things that can give you a better perspective, and this is what I mostly want to talk about, being subtle about. See how she reacts to how, like, when you touch her. And I'm not saying put your hand on her boob or something. I'm saying put your hand on her shoulder while you're talking, just for a second. Just like, hey, yeah, I agree with that or whatever. And see how she reacts to that. Does she move away a little bit? Does she look at you in the eyes a little more when you do that? Or put your hand on her lap for a second. Just try to test her a bit for a second. Just put your hand on different parts of her and test her for a second just to see how she reacts. And if she feels more comfortable, she might actually start to reciprocate the touch. And even if she doesn't, but still reacts warmly through verbal communication, then that's a sign that you might be able to advance a bit in your approach. See how she reacts when you, like, take her in for a little bit playfully, like pull her into you and kind of treat her like a bratty sister. See how she reacts to that. Have you ever cuddled with her? A lot of friends just cuddle. Sometimes I have friends that are girls and we like cuddle. Nothing. I'm not going out with them or anything after that. But see how she reacts to that. Does she reciprocate it a lot? Might mean she likes you. Stare at her in the eyes a little bit as you do that also, and see if she just keeps staring back at you, because that might mean she's ready for the kiss. Hey, little things like that are more subtle and can really test her and give you a better perspective. So you got 2 approaches, my man. Either go straight for it, you'll get a clear response, or be subtle and test your approaches. I'll make a second video about the next question in the next couple of days. So take care. Hope that helped. Peace.